Hello, you're listening to The Urbanist on Monocle 24, the show all about the cities we live in. I'm Andrew Tuck. And to start the show this week, let's head to South Africa's largest city, Johannesburg, a city that is struggling to supply itself with enough water for its growing population. The reason is one of the biggest cities in the world and not on a major river, ocean, or indeed any other water source. It was originally founded to mine the area's gold deposits. The modern solution is to pipe in water from abroad in what is Africa's biggest water transfer project ever. But as our contributor Gavin Fisher has been finding out, it's not been free from controversy.
Swimming pools to be filled, cars to be washed, green lawns that need watering, even ice-cold drinks for a proper South African barbecue known as a braai. Affluent suburbs like this one in Johannesburg have plenty of demands on the water supply. But the area is in drought. To find a solution, they looked over 400 kilometres away. To here, Lesotho, a country entirely encircled by South Africa. I'm at the top of the Mahale Dam, just one part of a massive multi-billion-dollar project to harbour the country's main natural resource, the water that flows just below me, and supply it to the Johannesburg area. The dam wall that I stand on top of, it's sheer concrete, 145 metres high. It's able to hold back 7.5 million cubic metres of water, but I don't think those numbers quite give you the sense of the enormity of this structure. Lesotho is known as the Mountain Kingdom, and all around me lie the peaks that lend it that name. Stunning natural shards of rock, which, to be honest, clash with the man-made kind of grey efficiency of the dam that I stand on. It does make you wonder, why did Lesotho agree to this project?
The benefit to Lesotho is that it gets a significant revenue stream from the sale of water. It has also had quite a lot of infrastructure development up in the mountains that otherwise would not have existed, roads, hospitals, clinics. There's also, between the dam that catches the water and the delivery point, a hydroelectric power plant. My name is Anthony Turton. I'm a professor at the Centre for Environmental Management, University of Free State. Lesotho today is self-sufficient in its energy, and in fact, I believe it might even be able to sell a bit of surplus. What benefit to South Africa? The entire economy of Johannesburg, which accounts for about 60% of the total economic activity of the country and a significant portion of the economic activity of the entire African continent, is 100% dependent on the transfer of water from the Lesotho Highlands and a couple of other transfer schemes as well.
The treaty which started the Lesotho Highlands Water Project was signed 30 years ago. 3 dams have been built so far, with more planned. But all that construction has had an impact on local communities. I travelled almost 100 kilometres away from Mahale to meet some of the people moved from their homes to build the dam. My companion, one of those fighting to win them compensation.
My name is Lerato Rabatu. I'm a project lawyer at Sinudi Legal Centre. My work involves legal assistance, legal representation in court, and legal empowerment of communities affected by large infrastructure projects within Lesotho.
So what were these communities promised in the first place when they were told that they had to move?
Okay, they were promised that they will receive compensation to every single loss, together with developments in the areas where they'll be relocated to, such as roads infrastructure, water supplies, electricity, clinics, schools, and stuff like that. The only thing that has happened since then was that they received new houses, but they never received monetary compensation for all the losses that they incurred since 2003, when they were being resettled, until today. So they are now looking into a new way of giving them their compensation, which is now doing infrastructure developments for them.
So are we here now? Is this?
Yes.
Should we go and have a look and say hello? In the lounge of one of the newly built houses, I find a handful of local women, many keen to tell me how the water project has affected them.
She's saying they felt that the compensation they were provided, they felt that it was inadequate. And she's also saying that they were expecting that they would be provided with water, with electricity, and that has not happened. She's originally from a place at Hamahalo called Jorotan. There she's saying they had natural resources in abundance. They didn't have to use money to build houses or to eat and provide for their families. Whereas here, you have to use money for everything. You have to buy water. You have to buy the very piece of land that you are staying at. You have to buy everything.
Away from the hubbub of the lounge, the daily chores have to continue. We've talked quite a bit about water and about the problems with water here, and obviously this whole project is about water and providing water to a different country. So would you have a message for the people of Johannesburg who are receiving that water? What would you want to say to them?
You know, she would make a plea that the water that's being transferred to South Africa be shared with the communities, because they are struggling to do household chores. For example, washing. They have to wash their clothes using dirty water from a pond somewhere down here. Yes, so it's really difficult for them.
Of course, there's always the issue that's raised by NGOs about the loss of livelihoods for your deep rural communities up in the highlands.
Anthony Turton again.
That is obviously a very sensitive issue and a very serious issue, and one doesn't want to trivialize that. So there's always room for improvement in that space. But the bottom line is that Lesotho is one of the few countries in Africa that has got a fairly healthy balance sheet, and that is because of the sale of water to South Africa.
As you stand here at the top of the massive Mahale Dam, you look down on the water behind me, you kind of get the idea at first glance. An impoverished country swapping a plentiful resource for money and electric power. It just makes sense. But without improvements for local communities, it's difficult to ignore the feeling that the true beneficiaries are those with water to fill their pools and wash their cars many hundreds of kilometres away in South Africa. For Monocle, in Mahale, Lesotho, I'm Gavin Fisher.